Never healing, yeah, you're so detached. Couldn't face me, yeah, you met your match. You were never really proud at all. That's why you had to always see us fall. Just to feel like you were somewhat tall. Only just to go and hit the wall. Yeah.
Hello guys, welcome to my channel where we discuss popular mainstream music, and in this video we're going to be talking about the big, huge, successful artist SZA, okay, SZA, the ultimate queen SZA. And we're going to be doing something special in this series where we're going to be talking about a particular artist and whether they're either this genre or that, okay? So you read the title, SZA, Pop or R&B. So we're going to be discussing whether SZA is pop or R&B, okay? Yes. And before we get into this, if you enjoyed the little snippet of music in the beginning of this video, that is my single. Check it out, guys. My music is here on YouTube. All you have to do is type my name, Sam Dolphin, and the music will pop up. So definitely check it out. You can also listen to it on all music streaming platforms like Spotify and Apple Music. So definitely support me and check out my music, guys. I really appreciate it. So getting back into the video, okay, SZA. And is SZA pop or R&B? Pop or R&B? Now, before I even get into it, I do want to make a quick disclaimer. And in this whole series that I'm going to be doing, because I'm going to be doing this with multiple artists, it doesn't matter what genre SZA is in, okay, regardless of what you think, she's still an incredible artist. It does not take away which genre you think she is, if you think she's R&B or pop. Okay, I'm here to say this is just an interesting topic, one of my theses, okay, and a very original one. So if you've seen it here, you've seen it here first, okay. But I'm going to talk about, is SZA pop or R&B, okay. Now the reason why I want to bring this topic up is because, first of all, SZA has made it known that she doesn't even consider herself R&B, okay. Some people even consider SZA R&B alternative. But it was so interesting that publicly she has come out, because I made a video recently about SZA being the queen of R&B, but how it's because her music is very worldwide by fusing lots of genres and stuff like that, and which makes it not R&B. And it was so interesting that she's come out, and I have to pull out the article or where the public statement was, where she, is kind of dissatisfied with the general kind of label as an R&B artist, because she believes she does so much, and I agree with her too. And this is what prompted me to do this video, okay, is she pop or R&B? And also, even with my polls and my categorizations, some people like, why isn't SZA here? Like, some people think she's pop, some people think she's R&B, so it's like, alright, let's get into it, okay, because she doesn't even think she's R&B. First thing to understand about this is that when it comes to black artists, the politics of R&B, if you're a black artist and you sing, you're automatically going to be considered an R&B artist, okay? A lot of times these genres also deal with marketing. So a lot of times, like, for example, like even with Chris Brown, like he could do an R&B song, a pop song, and they'll categorize it as R&B simply because the person is black. Or for example, Usher can do a pop song and they'll categorize it as R&B simply because he's black. So a lot of times when it comes to the politics of black artists, a lot of times just the fact that we're black, they just automatically put us in R&B. If we're singing and we're black, we must be singing R&B music. So I feel like that has a lot to do with SZA. SZA, is a black woman, and, because she is black, and she's singing, they automatically categorize her as R&B. R&B, the genre and the way the music industry use genre categorizations, it goes beyond just really the genre. It goes more into marketing and how you market a person. So really R&B is code for I'm marketing a black artist, and pop is more I'm marketing a white artist. So I'm just saying, and I'm not saying people are doing this like intentionally or not even intentionally, like people are doing this in a negative way. It's just marketing. So a lot of times, again, as a black artist, you get put into an R&B category, even if you're doing pop music. I know this because I did a pop song called Playing Sam. You can actually check out the video. It's here on YouTube, so definitely check it out. But this was years ago. And I would show this to, a lot of my peers, and even my white peers and all that, and they'll be like, oh, like she said, oh, you know, you're gonna be an R&B star, and it's like, this is not even R&B music, this is like pop music. But again, because you're black, they just automatically associate you with R&B. So a lot of times they're speaking into your culture and your identity and how they market you. So that's definitely a thing. So I already understand SZA being misrepresented as R&B simply because she's a black. They do this also with Rihanna. You know, they automatically call Rihanna R&B. I remember a lot of times they used to like label her R&B, even though she does pop music. Okay, now Beyonce does R&B music. Okay, at least primarily. You know, the same thing with Rihanna. Rihanna has gone back and forth with R&B a little bit, but she primarily does pop music. You know, Janet Jackson too. Like Janet Jackson has done R&B. You know, but primarily she does pop, you know, but sometimes people would just label artists, these artists, as just R&B artists simply just because they're black. And you got to look more into the actual genre. So this is no different with SZA. So I'm not surprised that they're labeling her music R&B simply because she's black. Now, it's not to say that SZA has not done R&B music, because she certainly has. The Weeknd, I consider that R&B. Okay, but even with her R&B songs, a lot of times it has a pop flair to it. Okay. And I think it's very interesting because even they do this even with, you know, the white girls in pop, because there are some pop white girls that I don't think are pop girls, but simply because they're white and they're singing, they automatically put them in the pop category when really they belong in the indie category or the alternative category, you know. So they're not really making pop music, or the adult contemporary category, you know, they're not really making pop music. But again, the categories of these genres a lot of times are politics, and they're not always fair, and they're definitely not always true, but it's politics and how people just kind of like see you, which can be limiting, you know, sometimes, you know, when you limit someone's, you know, whole, you know, music style into a genre that it's not genuinely that all the way. And that'll take me to the next reason, is that when it comes to SZA, and I made this point in the last video I made, but now I really want to make this video, SZA is master at making a hybrid of music. Like, I mean, what I mean is taking two genres, two sounds, like pop and rock, and putting them together, or like alternative and R&B and putting them together, you know, or pop and soul and putting them together. Like, she is good at kind of making hybrids of genres, so she's mixing them all. But I primarily look at that as pop music, because that is what pop does. Pop to me is not just popular music, but also finding a medium in music. Okay, so taking kind of like the most popular polar opposite genres and kind of getting like influences from each of them and kind of mixing it together to get a nice even middle. That is pop music, because pop music always pulls from the most popular genres. It'll pull from rock and it'll pull from hip hop. You'll hear a hip hop influence, but then it'll mix it with another genre to kind of neutralize it and give it that nice medium. And that'll give you that pop sound. That's why it sounds pop, because it sounds a little like R&B, a little like hip hop, blended so much and almost kind of oversaturated that it's like it sounds kind of neutralized. I don't even, that's the best way I can explain it. It gives it a neutralized kind of sound where it's a nice blend and it's a nice medium, and you call that pop music. That's why pop music can sometimes be described as safe, or popular music because it's taking from the genres and giving it a nice blend, a nice medium, a nice meat in between. It's like a hybrid of mixing genres. When you mix them, you get, you know, kind of like this neutralized sound. So for me, an artist such as SZA, who likes to fuse sounds and genres so much, it does give a nice medium and that's why pop is easy to listen to, because it's not so strong in any certain sound. It kind of blends everything, and that's why it's so relatable and so neutral and like kind of like universal. Anyone can listen to it type of thing, because again, it's that fusing and finding that nice medium, okay, that nice medium, that neutralizer. So that's kind of like what I get from SZA. SZA takes genres and she neutralizes them. She kind of takes and pulls and kind of has a nice medium. So it's like somebody from indie can listen to SZA and be like, oh, I like this because it's similar, but it's, you know, I see the other things, but like, you know, it still has this kind of take, so I can relate to it. Or someone from R&B who doesn't listen to like indie and all these like weird instruments that SZA be using in her instrumentals, they can still relate to it because it'd be like, oh, but I still kind of hear the soul, and I still kind of hear some of those R&B traits into her music. And then someone who's into pop music, you know, of course they can look at SZA's music, and I'm a pop fan. I look at SZA like a pop artist. You know, I feel like her sounds give me a nice blend, a nice like medium, that pop sound that's like kind of like in the middle, it's neutralized. So the way pop is and the way SZA operates as an artist is pop, okay? Pop is hybrids. You know, it'll take from rock and take from soul and kind of mix it together, and you get a nice medium. And that's kind of like that pop music, like it blends, it works. You know, pop rock music, you know, it'll take beats from R&B and soul and kind of mix it with rock, and you'll get that nice medium pop music. That's what pop is, and that's kind of how SZA operates as an artist. She pulls from rock, she pulls from indie, she pulls from alternative, she pulls from electronic, pop, R&B, you know, and pulling from all those genres, again, it gives her whole sound a nice neutral sound that's relatable to anyone, which is pop music. So what do you guys think? For me personally, I look at SZA as a pop artist. I do primarily. I would call her like pop R&B, you know, because she pulls from R&B, but primarily, like if I were to generalize her, I would consider her a pop artist. She makes pop music because of all the sounds that she takes from and how she blends it, and it gives it a nice neutralizing sound that's so relatable, and that's why she's so damn successful and makes such universal music. She's a pop artist to me personally. And again, it's like, yeah, some people consider, you know, other artists pop artists, and they don't, to me, in my opinion, barely really do any of this and are still considered pop simply because of skin tone, you know, race, you know, how you look. So I feel like she has it. If I feel like if SZA was white, they would consider her pop, but because she's black, literally they consider her more R&B. I feel like she's pop R&B. Okay, but primarily I feel like she's a pop artist because of how her music, and again, this does not take away anything from SZA. It doesn't take anything. It doesn't, I don't look at this as bad. Some may not, you know. Tell me what you think in the comment section. What do you think SZA is? Do you think SZA's a pop artist or an R&B artist? Again, she could be an R&B artist who pulls from pop, but primarily R&B. Okay, we're talking about the primary. What would you categorize her? I would categorize her as pop because her whole sound in general pulls from many other sounds that so many people can relate to, and that to me is the definition of pop music. It's a neutralized sound because it pulls from the most popular sounds of everywhere, and it gives this nice medium, and that's what I feel like SZA does. So I consider her a pop artist, you know, if anything pop R&B, because she pulls a lot from R&B, but primarily a pop artist. So, and again, that does not take away anything from her, but what do you guys think? Do you guys think SZA is pop or R&B? Let me know in the comment section below. I've been getting so much of this, even when I've been making my list, people have been saying this girl is pop. This is so interesting. This is so interesting to me. What would you label her as? And even if she has other genres, what do you think the primary thing is? When you generalize an artist by genre, it's not that you're saying that they don't do others. It's their primary. It's how you would define their whole music, how you would generalize them. So how would you with SZA? I would consider her pop. Let me know in the comment section yours, and I'll check you guys out on the next video.